Welcome to Her Money Revolution. I'm your host, Angela Brooks, your guide on this journey to becoming a wealthy woman. As a certified financial planner, business owner, and wealth advisor, I am on a mission to simplify the conversation around investing and to help women generate more wealth by making their money work for them. Join me as we navigate powerful financial planning strategies to help you achieve your personal and professional goals. This podcast is your go-to destination for no fluff, easy to implement financial and investing advice. If you are ready to achieve audacious financial goals, dream beyond boundaries, and generate massive wealth for you and your family, this podcast is for you. Grab a notebook, let's get started. Welcome to Her Money Revolution. I am Angela Brooks, your host. And today we are diving into the foundational steps of financial empowerment and setting audacious goals for personal finance success. I want to break this down for you. Financial empowerment, what is it? Why is it important? Over the course of the next handful of episodes, I want to take you on a journey to building out a financial roadmap to give you financial empowerment. So what is financial empowerment to me? Well, it's more than just having money in the bank. It's about having control over your financial destiny. It's about the confidence that comes from understanding your financial situation, making informed decisions, and having the tools and the strategies to achieve your goals. Now, I just said confidence, and I just went to a women's conference and they said, please stop talking about women and not having enough confidence around their money. It's comfort. Women want to feel comfortable with the decisions that they're making. They want that reassurance that the decisions that they are making are what is best for them. And I agree with that. I think that women already do have confidence. We already have the power. If we just recognize that and we're comfortable stepping into our power and stepping into that confidence, we change the world. We'd start a revolution. So be comfortable with the decisions that you're making. I want to break down for you how I feel about when I talk about financial empowerment. What it means to me is knowledge, to understanding the basics of your personal finance, like setting a budget, saving, investing, managing your debt. It's about control, developing the skills to manage your finances effectively, ensuring that your money is truly working for you. It is about confidence, or now being comfortable and building that assurance to make those bold financial decisions, and the ability to set and achieve those audacious financial or personal goals. Financial empowerment truly transforms your mindset from financial survival to financial thriving. And that is my goal in this podcast, and that is my goal connecting and working with you, is that I want to equip you to be more proactive rather than reactive in these financial decisions. I want you to take charge rather than feeling overwhelmed and stressed out about finances. Now that we kind of laid the groundwork, let's talk about setting audacious goals. This is my favorite part. These are big, bold objectives to push you beyond your comfort zone and aim higher for things in life. Not just money, but what is your purpose? What is your goal? Why are you here? This podcast, if I'm completely honest and transparent, this is pushing me beyond my comfort zone. And I was able to do this and get here because I have a financial plan. And I do believe that dreams are powered by a financial plan. I set this goal 5 years ago now to have this podcast. And I've looked at it year over year, well, month over month, and then year over year. And because I was really intentional with saving money in order to fund this podcast and truly then shifting my mindset to be comfortable doing this. I'm an introvert naturally. Maybe an extrovert once in a while, but this is definitely pushing me past my comfort zone. But why is it important for you to set audacious goals? Why not? I really do believe that we want to live inspired, like being powerful and motivating, having a life that's significant, not just floating by. Setting those audacious goals gives you a clear direction. I often do hear people that don't like to set audacious goals or goals at all, that, I just kind of I don't need to know exactly what's going to happen next. I agree. You don't have to know every step that you need to take, but having a clear path is going to guide you and give you a direction of where you're going. I'm sure you're going to deviate. I'm sure you'll turn once in a while. But if you don't know where to go, if you have no goal in mind, no destination in mind, you're kind of just floundering. Life is happening to you. I'd rather be intentional in designing the life that I want to live, that I feel God calling me to live. But when I talk about financial goals, some examples are, maybe you want to increase your 401k contribution every time you get a raise, or regardless of getting a raise, I want to set my 401k contribution. I want to increase it 1 or 2% each year. Some other financial goals might be you want to build a $100,000 investment portfolio in 5 years, or maybe it's 10 years. My industry loves using acronyms, and part of my mission as well is to simplify the conversation around investing and understanding what all of the jargon means. But one of them is FIRE, and I do like this one. It's Financial Independence Retire Early, FIRE. The first step to achieving personal wealth is understanding that it starts with a single step. Okay, when it comes to achieving personal wealth, the first step is creating a solid financial foundation. Number one, don't think about the big mountain. Just take the first step. Here's how you do it. If we dive in, when we go through some of the upcoming episodes, I'm going to go into more detail on these, but assessing your current financial situation. So that's the first step, is understanding your assets, your liabilities. We're going to calculate your net worth and understand what income you have, what expenses you have, to understand your cash flow. Number one, that's essential to understand what the first step in building wealth. Once you've done that, we are going to go through a process of setting clear, specific goals. We're familiar with those SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. We'll talk through how to do that when it comes to money and finances. One of the key things that I'd want you to take away from this is to write that goal down. Keep it visible. One of the things that I encourage my clients to do, or my friends, my husband and I do it, we have money dates. Whether you're single or you're married, set a date consistently every month. My husband and I do it the second Thursday of the month. We have a babysitter come and watch our kids, and we go out for drinks or for dinner, and we bring our laptops and we set up, and we have our Excel spreadsheet, which is a value spending plan. And I'm going to take you through that in the next episodes here. But we set a dedicated time every month, and we together go through all of our expenses, all of the income that is coming in, all of our expenses, and we understand pretty much like where every penny is going. And once you start looking at it on a monthly basis, or you make that more visible, those goals, we also go through the goals, those goals become really attainable, as hard as it seems. And then also when you're looking at where your money is going, you're like, why am I deciding to spend money on that? It gives you power, it gives you control to take steps to help you achieve those financial goals every month. I have some clients that, they're like, yeah, we do our annual, me and my wife get together, me and my husband get together, and we look through our annual spending. We download the document from the bank or the credit card. American Express, I know, does a really cool document that you can get, diversifies or shows where you're spending everything. But don't wait and just do it at the end of the year. I was talking with a client, and him and his wife he was actually pretty upset with his wife for how much money she's spending. And the reality is that, well, if you do that on a monthly basis, you're both making those decisions with knowledge and information about, well, how much money are you making? It wasn't that big of an expense when he realized how much money they were actually bringing in. But I would encourage you, look at it, make it visible, look at it every month, so it's not a big shock to you at year end. So once you do that, okay, so we're doing that, then you're going to create that value spending plan that I keep mentioning. This is where you're going to allocate your income into different categories. Those categories are like necessities, savings, investments, discretionary spending. There's different tools and there's different apps out there to help you stick to a budget, or like I like to call it, a value spending plan. And then I have one that you can download at hermoneyrevolution.com. There's a value spending plan that you can use. Once you have done that, we will spend some time to understand how to build out an emergency fund. And this is your 3 to 6 months of net worth. I'm sorry, not your net worth, but 3 to 6 months of living expenses. And right now it's May 2024. money markets are paying anywhere between 4 5%. I'd say go to your local bank. If you're not working with a financial advisor, maybe find a financial advisor to work with, but ask them what the money markets are paying. Bear in mind, money markets are different than CDs. That's a big question I always get. Money markets are liquid. There's no penalty to access them. It's just different than a savings or basic checking account. But start building out that emergency fund and keep it in that separate, easy to access money market account. Once you have done that, this is when the fun part comes in. You're going to start investing. We will talk about what is investing. First of all, I want to go through investing 101, the basics. What is a stock, a bond, a mutual fund, an ETF, when to use them, and what types of investment vehicles to use, whether it's a Roth IRA, an IRA, a 401k, a taxable individual account, etc. One of the things that is really important, though, if you are working and you have an employer-sponsored plan like a 401k that is providing a company match, I'd say do that. At least contribute to whatever that match is. Otherwise, you're leaving money on the table. It's just kind of a basic place to start. So I want to tell you a story of why this is so important and why it is so important to me to empower you to take control of your finances. I have been doing this for a handful of years, and time again, women are making decisions and not understanding what they're doing. I have a client that it was, and I'm not going to say any names, but I have a client that's been happily married for over 25 years, high school love, 4 kids, both of them work full time, make really great money. She never went to meet with a financial advisor. He did occasionally. Husband met with a financial advisor on occasion, not anything consistent. But once in a while, he'd come home and have a bunch of paperwork that she would need to sign, and they're changing allocations or whatever the story was. She trusted him, so she just signed it. Probably a year and a half later, come to find out, she signed away her rights to his 401k, and she signed off her name on their individual account. And what was happening was her husband was preparing to leave her, and she didn't know. Again, happily married. They've got 4 beautiful kids, some in college and high school, and no signs that this was coming. And she ended up signing away her rights on everything. And he ended up cashing out his 401k, and he bought a sports car. He spent some of that on buying a second home where his girlfriend lived. And then on some of his accounts, his wife's name was no longer on them. He was titling those funds in the girlfriend's name. It's just horrific. This is not the normal case that I work with, but these are the real life things that if she would have been a little bit more involved in those conversations with the financial advisor, if she would, and this is her own words, she just cries and cries and says, I wish I would have paid more attention. If she would have understood the documents that she was signing and read through them, there would have been signs way earlier on of like, why is he moving all of this money? She's going to be okay. We're working together now, and she's going to be financially okay. But it's going to take a while. It's going to take some time to recover, not only financially, but emotionally as well. They are now divorced, and that the story's evolved over the couple of years, but it's tragic. And my goal and my desire is to help empower and encourage women to understand what they're doing. It is not to discredit men. I'm married to a man. I am raising 2. They're amazing. We need them. I love them. Mine, at least. I have a daughter as well. But so hear me when I say that. It's not to discredit them, but I just want, and men too, if you're listening, encourage your wife, encourage your girlfriend, encourage your partner to take a second look at it, understand what's going on in your finances. Okay, so that's all for today. But before I wrap up, I want to give you some actionable tips or some homework for you to work on between now and next time that we meet. I want you to create a financial snapshot. Like I've said a couple of different times, we're going to go over the value spending plan together, but I want you to spend the next couple of weeks assessing your current financial situation. What does that mean? Well, get your pay stub, understand what income is coming, understand all of your expenses and the interest rates, the terms on all of your notes. understand what that is, gather all of that information together. So then when we dive deeper into that value spending plan, we'll have some information already ready to go. And then the second homework, I want you to set one audacious goal. I want you to write it down, whatever that might be, write it down, break it into smaller steps, and then set a timeline of when you want that goal to be accomplished. And whether it's a financial goal or a personal goal, you decide, but set one audacious goal today. That is all that I have for today. Thank you for joining me on the very first episode of Her Money Revolution. Remember, the path to personal wealth starts with a single step. Good job. Congratulate yourself. Take a pat on the back that you are taking the first step by tuning in today. I want you to empower yourself with the knowledge. I want you to set audacious goals and take control of your financial future. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave me a review, share your progress, and send me any questions that you might have on my social media. Find me at hermoneyrevolution.com. Until next time, stay empowered and keep striving for financial success. See you in the next episode. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you are feeling more empowered in your financial journey. Remember, follow and subscribe to Her Money Revolution on your favorite podcast platform, and share your feedback by leaving a review. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway from today's episode. Until next time, stay inspired.